Nom 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 nom. Oi.
Hello everyone, my name is Paulina and I'm a knitaholic. Welcome to Tikva Hobbies, a channel about knitting and crochet. Today's podcast video is sort of experimental because it will be in the vlog format. Behind the scenes, I will show you how I worked on the green shawl, crochet shawl, and if you haven't watched it, you could check out the tutorial. And I will also talk about knitting and crocheting using cotton yarns, about my current projects and plans. I apologize if I'm too chatty at certain moments because I find it hard to stop myself. But personally, the longer the better. I love such videos when you could crochet or knit and there is some background. So I suggest you grab your favorite drink, snacks if you want, and your knitting or crochet project, whatever, and watch this video. Hi everyone, I decided to make a quick update on the shawl. I'm sorry if my voice is a bit husky because I'm having a cold or a virus, don't know exactly, like runny nose, this sort of thing. Plus it's evening now and the light might be not enough and I'm not using any equipment, just my hands and my phone. Anyway, I decided to make an update to add some more process videos on the channel. This is what the shawl looks like at the moment. So I've got 10 square pieces and I've come to this dark green color. Actually it changed around here and here it is. Basically I had to cut only a little bit of white to start this line with light green, well, like this combination of green and white, and that is it. Afterwards I haven't cut any pieces and the yarn goes as it is. I've got 10 squares and this is basically enough, for my neck, to cover the neck, to wrap it with this shawl, but I would like to add one more line. Let me show you how much I've got left here. This is the remnants. Oh, some nasal drops, never mind. That's what I've got. And I guess that this light and dark green combo will last for at least one stripe, one row of squares, which I'm going to add. I really wanted to get to this green color because I like darker colors, and this would be a contrast with this white. So I really do want to add one more row, and then will be the scariest part for many. By scariest I mean weaving in all the tails, all the ends, when you use a simple sewing needle or a tapestry needle and weave in the ends in the fabric. I have to weave in one end or tail for each square. As for the central ones, actually I've weaved as I went. Like I put the tail next to the chain stitches and it's right below these worked double crochets. You can see here, right? This is it. I might just go a few more stitches with my tapestry needle and then cut cut all the ends. This is it. This is gonna be it. One more row, and then I'll shoot the finishing. Of course, when the light is better and when I'm feeling better, I hope it's gonna be soon. What else am I doing at the moment? I'm crocheting, I'm watching some YouTube, and I've got, oops, my phone case. I'm reading The Lord of the Rings. Actually, it's not my first attempt to finish the volumes. I started at the uni and I didn't finish back then, but then my English was much worse and now it goes much quicker, and I'm, well, roughly around the quarter of the book I've read, and it all started. Actually, I was planning to read an absolutely different book, but a friend of mine posted a comment on one social network about Frodo's and Bilbo's birthday at the end of September, like the 21st, and I read that comment and was inspired. I was on a trip. Actually, I was at the airport at the moment and had my e-reader with me, and on the e-reader I had the book. So that's how it started, and then when I came back home, I continued reading this paper version. It's actually the 50th anniversary edition. Quite a heavy volume, which is probably not the best idea to take with you. But this time it goes much easier and I enjoy it much more because I don't look up any words at the dictionary, just maybe a few, if I'm really inclined to find out the meanings. And that's how my days are going now while I'm ill. I hope I feel better soon and can finish the tutorial and upload it as soon as I can. So see you in the next part. It's actually next day and you can see me from the worst angle possible. So I still look a mess. I'm ill, but better. I can record a few minutes for you, and I'd rather show my hands, not my face right now in the moment. Yeah, so actually I've just finished showing on camera how to finish the shawl, these picots, little picots, and later in the evening I'm going to continue and probably might even have time to weave in the ends. Sorry for the sound, I have strepsils in my mouth, so might be not very clear what I say, but I hope still all right. Actually, each time I watch my videos and edit them, I see that I'm so serious. Like really, in real life I smile much more and make jokes and laugh and everything, but when I watch my videos, when I edit them and when I record, probably that's because I'm a teacher and tend to be a little bit, well, serious, earnest, yeah. No, earnest is the wrong word, sorry. That's why I'm trying to record this vlog format right now, just for you to let me know a little bit better and to have some variety in the videos. Well, actually, I'd like to talk about a few things right now. First, I really wanted to upload the shawl tutorial on Friday or at the weekend, like 15th and 16th of October, the latest, but I'm not sure I'll be able to do it because I need to finish the shawl, then wash it, block it, and what's the most difficult part, take nice photos, preferably outside, and you know it's 10 degrees Celsius right now, and it's rather chilly to record wearing only a sweater, and I'm not sure this goes well with my autumn coat, and anyway, might be not very natural. You see, the shawl is a blend of cotton and some synthetic material, and my autumn coat is like 80% wool. Like, it's really warm. Might be quite funny, might look funny, and with some jackets the color combo might be not the best. Anyway, if I get better by Friday or Saturday, I still will be able to upload it at the weekend and will be really happy. I really want to talk to you with my face on the screen, and it's a bit awkward just having my hands here, but as I've proved, I have shown, I look a mess and don't want to be on the screen at the moment. I'd like to share my thoughts with you on crocheting cotton threads. I've got some examples around and would like to share my thoughts. This is my personal opinion, and if you think differently, well, tastes differ and we're all different, and that's all right. That's great about this world. I don't want to hurt anyone, just sharing my opinion, my feelings about this shawl which I'm currently working on, and I'd say my feelings are sort of mixed and controversial. And by the way, Ginny, Galia. If you stay here for like 5 or 6 more minutes, I'm gonna tell you stories about each of them, where I got them from and why they're here on the channel and have become a symbol of it. I'll put them aside for a moment so you can see what I'm showing. This is the shawl I'm currently working on. Originally, I saw this design somewhere on the internet. I liked the motif, and the crocheter, the master, was using some gradient, like variegated yarn, and I couldn't find the one I liked at the moment, and tried 3 different colors. You see, light blue, dark blue, and this nice pink. Actually, it's bright on the screen, it's paler and more powder-like in real life, and really cute one. And this baby pink, very nice. That was a lot of work, because each time I wanted to change color, I cut the thread and started with a different color, but you don't see any tails, and actually I can't say I wove them in later. I wove them in when I joined. You know, this type of joining yarn, I might show it maybe some time later, when you use a needle, not a blunt one, and you join like this, and these ends, these tails, they are woven in the thread itself. So if your thread splits, like this type of yarn, it consists of a lot of threads, and they are not very tightly spun. This will not work on this yarn. But here it worked fine. By the way, that was around 50% wool, 50% acrylic. But at that time I was a student, probably. Yeah, I was a student at that time, or maybe just finished uni. Don't remember exactly. Yeah, must be that I finished uni at that time. I didn't have a lot of money and could buy only such type of yarn, either it was not very nice and fine wool or mixes with acrylic. That's what I could afford, well, just to tell you the truth. And I had to weave in the ends each time I changed the color. That's not what I might teach someone. And by the way, I'm a teacher in real life, and that's why I'm having a day off currently today, because I'm ill, and I know that if I teach like 4 or 5 hours in a row and keep talking, you see, I still get a little bit, how to say, my voice, yeah, is a bit rough. And if I talk for 6 hours in a row, I might lose it by the evening, so that's why I'm having a day off. Still can record a little bit of video, yeah, my pleasure. Why first of all I wanted to show the shawl? As it's a mixture of wool and acrylic, it's relatively light, and even given that it's crocheted fabric, and the yarn itself is 500 meters in 100 grams, so it's finer and thinner than the one I'm using here. Here it's around 400 meters if I'm not mistaken. And it's drapey this way, even though I can't say it's very loose, like there is not much room between the stitches. It's solid, and I'm happy with this project. That took me a lot of time. By the way, I also had picots, but you see here I finished differently. I had one round of pink, then the blue round with some chain stitches for joining these tassels. Yeah, I do remember the word. And in the final dark blue round, I worked the picots, and then I added these tassels. If you wish, on this green shawl you could do the same, although actually I have just enough yarn to finish the shawl itself, and tassels do take a lot of yarn, and if you're reluctant to cut it, well, probably shouldn't do it. And I regret that these picots are not visible when you have tassels. Yeah, I can see it, but I remember what they looked like before I added these things, and they were super cute, even though I like these tassels. And this shawl I decided not to. Besides, the yarn is different, and that's what I'm gonna stress. Here the shawl is pretty light and voluminous. In here, first, by the way, I tried, which hook is it now? 3mm hook. First I tried 2.5mm hook, and it was too dense and not drapey enough, and for a shawl you want it to be drapey. But I couldn't take a bigger hook, like 3.5mm, because this would mean a lot of holes, and don't like this effect. You know, it depends on what you like. I don't like a lot of space between the stitches unless it's some kind of, bags which were popular, like for fruit. And they were really popular when my mom was a kid, probably, for going shopping, food shopping, with big holes. For such things, yeah, you might use a bigger hook. But here I wanted it still to be relatively solid, but drapey. And that's what I could get with this yarn. I like the gradient, and the shawl is now big enough to cover my neck, and the ends are still not like very small. First I wanted to stop a little bit earlier, but with such type of shawl, which is half a square, you still need to make it relatively big, so that even when you drape it, it covers your neck, and the ends are big enough so that you can fix them somehow. Personally, I tend to like the, forgot how to say, when the angle in the shawl is not straight, is not 90 degrees, but more. Approximately maybe 130 would be nice. I have a couple of shawls, not handmade by me, but bought ones. One cashmere shawl, very cute, handmade, but machine made, actually, by a person. A present, a dear present from mom. And it has this angle, which is not straight, and this makes the tails longer, and you can drape it very easily around your neck. I tend to like such shawls more, but with motifs, square motifs, you cannot have this shape unless you probably change the shape of the motifs themselves. My mom, for instance, she's also a knitter. By the way, she cannot crochet very well, but she can knit, and she made a shawl. I actually last summer I borrowed it from her for my costume. I'll add the pictures if I find them. And in that shawl there are diamonds, which are worked using short rows and long rows, and in this shape you can obtain this not right angle, I said straight angle, no, right angle, I mean 90 degrees, but a bigger one. And I really love that shawl. I gave it back to her, because I only borrowed it, but I might work such a shawl maybe in the future. Actually, to tell you the truth, honestly, I'm not a big fan of shawls. Might be funny considering that it's the second shawl tutorial I'm uploading on the channel. I like knitting them, crocheting them, but I can't say I'm a person who wears shawls often in my life. Probably because for autumn and winter I prefer scarves or infinity scarves, and the period of time when it's warm enough for putting or wrapping your shoulders with a shawl is relatively small here. Like it gets cold and you want to put on something warmer, and a shawl like this, it takes a lot of volume around my neck, and I can't say I have a very long neck, so I prefer a scarf. It just suits me more, as I believe. But I'm gonna show you the shawl, by the way, which is already on the channel, this one. By the way, yesterday I washed it, machine washed it, and it's perfectly fine, just sharing with you. And it's dry by now. A machine washed it, and it's saying that was the regime of cotton, 40 degrees and 800, how to say, 800, when the machine finishes the tumbling, that was 800 as the mode. I wouldn't recommend it to you if you use some yarn which has wool in it. Do not do it, because once I shrank a sweater, my favorite one, when I washed it in the machine. But here I was relatively sure that it should be alright, and it is fine. It is fine. By the way, I just spread it on the floor, on the washing mats, these blocking mats, without any pins. Just spread it nicely and evenly. The shape might be not perfect. I mean, like the angles, if I pin them, they could be a little bit pointy, like sharper, but it's still fine. Why I put it here as well is that we had a city break like a week and a half ago. We returned home, and I took the shawl with me as a sort of experiment, because I don't wear shawls at home, but where we went it was pretty warm, but still chilly in the evening, and we entered mosques now and then, and you need to cover your head with some kind of scarf or shawl, and it was really handy, because when it's chilly in the evening, you can wrap it around your shoulders. When you need to cover your head, you can use it to cover your head, and that was such a practical thing. I always had it in my backpack every single day there, and I loved it. I saw that it could be useful in my wardrobe, at least for such trips when I go somewhere where it's warmer than here, and I might even probably wear it next summer more, now that I've felt how it could be, but this has to wait till the summer. What else I wanted to say? Why I started showing all these three shawls. I'm sorry if I lose my thoughts and jump from one topic to another. I'm gonna get better with time, with experience of talking on camera. I still feel a little bit shy, even though it's been like, how long? 6 or 7 months since my first video. What I wanted to say is that when you knit cotton, it's drapey. Well, cotton or these binks, it's drapey enough. And it's not mercerized cotton, by the way. It's not shiny. And it's softer and drapey. That's the same yarn, by the way, yeah? The same, exact same yarn art flowers, but in crochet it's not that drapey. I hope when I wash and block it, it's gonna be more drapier, well, how do you say it properly, and softer. I do hope. That's what I put all my hope on. Let's call it like this. Still, I can't say I'm 100% satisfied with this fabric, because here with woolly blend it's softer. Here it's rather, you know what crocheted cotton is, it's not that soft to the touch. Besides, I've got another project of mine here to show. That's a surprise because it's a bikini top I made 3 years ago, before our holiday in the summer of 2019, and that was Anna 16 by Seam, the yarn, and the hook was 1.25 millimeters. I used the pattern, still I changed it a bit for my breast shape and to fit me perfectly. That took not really a lot of time, because I was really mad about this. I really wanted this this bikini. I've got the bottom part as well in this color, of course. Just thought it's more presentable to show the top. And you see, the fabric is dense, but I like it much more, because this stuff, it needs to be dense, because when it gets wet, if it has holes, it spreads and doesn't look nice on the body. By the way, it has some stretchy material in here. Of course, cotton doesn't stretch, but there is some elastic ribbon, not ribbon, like thread inside. A nice thing, and I like the fabric, and it's dense. But here it's just not drapey enough for a shawl. So I feel now that for shawls I probably like knitting needles more, because they get you a drapier fabric, and they are lighter. Even if you use cotton, they do feel sort of lighter. And of course, better use not cotton but some woolly materials, which can make the thing more practical, and probably not the right angle but blunt angle. No, that's not what you call it. I'll look it up. That's my thoughts at the moment. I hope that the shawl gets just drapier and nicer to the touch after washing and blocking, and I do hope that I get better as soon as possible, like in a few days, and will be able to make the video and take photos, nice photos, so when I look more or less fine. I promised you that if you keep on watching, yeah, I said 7 minutes and now I've talked like 20, more than 20 minutes, my goodness. But honestly, I do love videos where masters, knitters, crocheters talk for a long time, because I can knit or crochet at the same time and it's not a problem for me. So I love such videos. I hope that you do too. If you do, please put a like below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I might upload such long videos now and then, because they're easier to make. I don't have to edit them as long as I edit the tutorials, and they can be a nice background for your projects. I promised that I would tell you about Ginny and Galia. Let's start with Galia. Actually, it's a present. Both of them are actually presents from my husband. This one was presented. My husband was just browsing our local marketplace for stuff, and he saw this toy in an advert, and he thought it was so cute. Like, oh look, you love knitting. It's a cloth moth. You hate these creatures. Why don't you buy one? Why don't I buy you one? And he did. Actually, there were purple ones, light purple, and these pink ones, and she is really cute. And these legs are very soft to the touch. The same material here below her wings. Very cute, very nice and soft. Actually, as a joke, I put some lavender oil on her legs originally. Now I believe she doesn't smell of this, but I might refresh it. You know that cloth moths don't like very strong smells like lavender or eucalyptus or orange essential oil, lemon, like the citrus smells. I might refresh them here. Although I can't say that I often see this around the house, but occasionally I do catch one, and drives me mad, honestly, because I regularly look through my woolly wardrobe and try to protect my garments and yarns, and when you see a cloth moth, it's like your number one enemy, right? So she is a cute one, and she appeared on the screen here with me. By the way, as for her name, Galia. Actually, there is a name Galina in my language, which is Russian, and there is a similar word, similar sounding word, Gadina, and this word means nasty person, naval person, who might do something naughty, maybe towards you. And when I was texting to my husband once, my phone replaced one letter, D with, D with L, and instead of Gadina, it was Galina. And it is a name in our language, and that's how she got her name, Galina, and short Galia. It sounds very nice, and well, that's why she is Galia. Cute creature. I love her. And to Ginny. Well, first of all, I want to dispel the myth. Maybe some of you believe that it's my work. No, she's not. Although I can see how this is done, and probably if I'm given a pattern, I can repeat it. Although I'm not sure I can do it on my own from my head. Besides, I've never crocheted any amigurumi toys. Only some kind of, like my pumpkin tea coaster, bookmarks, some flat stuff. But this one has shape, right? And body parts are stuffed. So this is not my toy. It was presented to me again by my husband. And he bought it in some local craft store where they actually it does not exist anymore. Yes, it closed down some time ago, and that's a pity because you could find some handmade stuff there for sale. It was something like Etsy but offline. A small place. We've bought some presents there for relatives, and they also had some crochet toys on display. So he bought it for me because, my birthday actually is pretty soon, the 31st of October, Halloween, and that's why pumpkin. And, there is a romantic story because when he presented this to me, it was holding a little box, jewelry box with a ring, not this one, but engagement ring. So he proposed to me when he gave it to me on my birthday. That was super cute and really romantic. Don't remember why she got the name Ginny. Maybe we were watching Harry Potter series and Ginny Potter had red hair and pumpkin is red, maybe. I can't recall. Probably. I have no idea where else the name Ginny could come up. So that's the story about Ginny. I don't know the crocheter who made it. I'd like to say thanks, and I just admit that it's not my work, and it's really nice done though. She's got eyelashes and cute eyes and these teeth, really cute. Little details, stockings, striped ones, really nice. And I actually it's not very well, so just attached it roughly, because one day I'm gonna of course cut this, but for the videos I wanted her to hold this hook and as a joke sort of try to fight Galia when she's trying to eat the yarn. So she's a crochet and like yarn protector, yarn guardian. Let's call her yarn guardian. I like the way it sounds. I've been talking like for half an hour now. I hope you're not tired of me talking. And actually, to tell you one most funny story, at the moment our neighbor from above is playing his electric guitar, and you know he's been driving me up the wall these couple of days when I've been ill. Actually, I have nothing against people playing music in case they have like soundproof walls and don't annoy their neighbors. And he's been playing the song Creep by Radiohead for like a dozen times now, probably. Like I heard it 4 or 5 times yesterday and a few times today. Oh my goodness. That's probably not the best song to hear when you are ill. To say nothing of his music talent, which is well, I'm not gonna insult him or everything, but where are the good old garages? Yeah, where young people used to practice their music skills. I wish he had one, or at least had a soundproof room in his flat. You cannot hear him probably, but I can, and it's a little bit annoying. Okay. Oops. Getting myself comfortable. All right. Okay. Ginny, Galia, I hope they're visible. So it's been a few days since I finished the crocheted shawl. Here it is, by the way. I can show you on the screen. And I've been wearing it all this time. Besides, I found a perfect match for it. I've had this skirt for a while, but I'm not sure I wore it a lot last winter and autumn. Here it is. Actually, I think I made it 3 years ago. This is 100% wool and it's worsted spun. It can easily get felted. The yarn I used is Dundaga 6/1, which is a fingering weight thread. But after you wash it and block it, it gets slightly, not even slightly, I would say it gets 50% thicker or even more. And you start feeling the wool, you know, when it's in the skein, in the ball, it's got this some sort of substance like wax on it, and when you wash it, it feels like wool. I love this skirt. I love the combination of colors of olive green and gray and this pinky mauve color, plus a bit of brown in the middle, a very natural gradient, which matches this shawl very nicely. And it's very autumnal, I would say. So I've worn it with the shawl and I felt great. I felt really pretty wearing it. With boots, with my hiking boots, which have Bordeaux laces, shoelaces. Nice combination. I'm really happy that I found this combo. I'll share the pictures if I get to take some in a few days before the video is out. So this thing has found a place in my wardrobe, and I'd say something else, right? I would rather talk about new projects because the shawl is over, it's done, I like it, I wear it. What's gonna be next? First of all, I've promised to finish the blanket. Actually, it wasn't me, it was Ginny. But who am I not to oblige? So I need to finish it, and actually I do want to finish it, to use it on the bed, to put it on the bed. This is what it looks like. I'm not sure I could show it to you because it's really wide and very long, like this. It's gonna be all the way from the start to where I am now. I'm repeating this stripe of diamonds. I definitely have enough yarn because maybe some of you remember that I unpicked around 15 centimeters at the end of the rows. So now the bed cover is slightly narrower and easier to crochet. This is a project I haven't been doing recently because I focused on the shawl and on the tutorial. And by the way, I said that's all with the shawl, but I want to share some sad stuff. When I uploaded it on Friday, it was in the evening and I was rather tired and didn't notice that first I didn't have a proper introduction in the video, like, hello, my name is Paulina, welcome to Tikva Hobbies, I'm a knitaholic, all this stuff. I missed it. And it was my husband who noticed it. I thought, well, my goodness, how could I not say that? And then while looking further, I saw that I wrote the yardage of the yarn incorrectly. Mixed the figures, some number, and I thought it might distract some of you or just mix, and decided to re-upload the video. So I first made it invisible, then I deleted it and re-uploaded it. Uploaded it once more after having corrected, adding the introduction part and fixing the numbers. And I guessed it would be fine. The first version, it had a few views and there were likes and even a comment. And when I uploaded the corrected version, there are not very many views, a few likes and no comments at all. And I was so frustrated. Sorry. It's still like, how to say, the remnants of my sore throat and a bit of coffee. I need some water maybe. And that was so frustrating for me because probably I should have left it as it is and just commented and fixed the and like pinned the comment with the correct yardage. Besides what I say in the video, I say everything all right. It's just that the information on the screen is not correct. Maybe I shouldn't have changed anything, and somehow I managed to break the algorithms of YouTube, probably. I don't know. It's the first time I had to do it. So please support that video if you are interested in crocheting and in shawls. Back to the blanket, right? It was just me telling you about what's going on behind the screen. As for the blanket, now it can be used. By the way, I'm not sure I showed it the other side of it, right? It looks like stripes, and when I crochet it now, I can cover my legs with it and work as I go, and it serves as a blanket. That's actually what blanket crocheters say, that the risk of not finishing it is high because you start using it and you like it as it is, and sometimes you don't finish it. But I aim to use it as a bed cover, and it should be way larger, almost twice as large as it is now. So I need to go on. I might crochet it in the evening tonight when we will be watching some film or series, don't know yet, but the light will be probably too dark for me to shoot. It's dark now at around, what time is it? About 2 p.m. But still it's the sky is overcast and it's cloudy and it might rain in the afternoon, you know, and I can't say I have like very nice lighting. It's just the upper light on the ceiling here. So what I wanted to say is that I do promise to continue this work, because before I start working on Christmas tutorials, I want to at least finish this stripe of diamonds. And which one's gonna be next? Next we've got monochrome browns and light and dark grays, purple, and another small one. Probably before the other tutorials I might go up to the next yellow and white bigger section. That's what I want to, at least. Of course, I'm gonna be filming the tutorials before they are uploaded on the channel, especially since it's Christmas and I know that these tutorials must be uploaded beforehand, so that people could knit and crochet the stuff they want before the holidays, especially since some of these might be as presents. So not much time is left. Still, I would like to work on the blanket because I badly need it. I need it in my bedroom. The colors and everything is just my thing. Actually, I prefer, I guess I have spoken about it before in one of the podcasts, that I prefer to work on one project at a time, at least one crochet and one knitting. And so I have started a pair of socks. Remember in the previous podcast episode, I asked you to help me choose which color socks to start first, these red ones or the pumpkin orange ones, and I've decided to start with the red ones. Why? First, because I need these socks to wear in my boots, and I have almost the same colored, well, probably a little bit pinkier or purplier, not that red, colored shoelaces, and I want the socks the same color. Besides, my husband has this color socks, and he loves them immensely and wears them literally every day during the season. So I needed a pair for myself to wear in boots. If you are a sock knitter, you might say that these are too wide because, well, decency of showing my soles, yeah, soles, yeah, S-O-L-E, soles. I'm wearing, by the way, a pair of socks I knitted a long ago. If you're interested in all my socks, I've got a video and I will link it somewhere on the screen. I'll try to. I've never done it before. So, back to the socks. You might think that these are a little bit too wide for my feet because this is true. They are wider than my regular socks, but when I make socks which I wear in boots, I make them a little bit wider because I tend to wear either cotton socks beneath or stockings, and I need them to be wider and not to be tight. If your socks are very tight, your blood circulation is not proper and your feet might get cold. At least that's what happens to me. It might happen to anyone, right? That's biology. My favorite socks are the simple ones, especially since I wear these. I'm going to wear these in boots. And I decided to repeat the pair which I made. These I made, I guess, 3 years ago, a while ago. And still they are wearable and there is not a single hole in them. Probably because I've got a few pairs of socks, but this proved to be the most comfortable and wearable socks. So this is a replica. It's 72 stitches on 2.25 millimeter needles. I'm using higher sharp, which are my all-time favorite needles, although if you tend to push the needle with your index finger, it could be, well, I can't say that you do it like Sleeping Beauty. you get really bad feelings. No, it's all right. For me it's okay, but at times it could be nasty. So, but still they pick the thread very nicely because these ends, they are very sharp and very long. Just love them. I've got a row counter, well, just a regular one which you click, because I want to have the same number of rows when I start the second sock. And I'm thinking of working the heel and pausing with this sock, then working the same part with the second sock, and then finishing two at the same time, like magic loop on these needles. I have done it before and enjoyed the process immensely, but I want to figure out the length and the heel flap and everything, if the length is fine, if I like everything about the first sock, and then repeat it. And as for the gusset, yeah, is it called the gusset, this spot above the heel, right? So this spot could be done just two at the same time. The socks are started from the toe. It's Judy's cast on, then I've got increases, then flat, well, and the heel, it's like boomerang, but it's a simplified version where you first work the decreases on both sides and then you pick the stitches at the selvage areas. It's easier than boomerang heel because you don't need to work the short rows. And personally, I find when I make, at least last time I tried boomerang heel, it was not very neat. Maybe some stitches was sloppy. Maybe I'm making a mistake, but something was not okay about it. But that was long ago, and I can't say I was less experienced, obviously. And now I would probably do it better if I tried it. Still, this imitation of boomerang heel is rather simple. It has some tiny holes, but not very big ones, and it suits my my type of heel, my width of my feet perfectly. For my husband, it's not a good idea, for instance, because he's got wider ankle, right? So this part is wider, and he needs this triangular thing here. I'm really bad at sock constructing and describing all the parts of it. Probably I haven't read any instructions in English for a while. That's why that's becoming a problem. So my husband, by the way, told me that these look like Christmas socks. You should make a tutorial. But I thought, there are so many sock tutorials. Do you need one from me? Just comment below if you're interested. I would think what I could do. I'm not sure I'm ready to have all the sizes because, you know, like they usually say in books that for my size feet I need 64 stitches. Yeah, I've got 72, and this is what I want it to be. And it fits me well for my purpose. I'm not sure that everybody needs the same room and how to figure out the length of the foot is clear, but the width, right? How wide your feet are, how many stitches you need to cast on. I could describe the principle, right? I have already described part of it. I could show like the basics, maybe when I work on the second sock, how I start, how I do the heel flap, probably the measurements, like how tall the socks are, how I finished it's rather elastic, and I usually fold it double and this part goes above the boot. I could describe it in more detail if you want, but you need to let me know in the comments. I'm not sure, like I would give proper number of stitches and everything. I could give the ones I'm using for my feet, and you could change them according to your measurements. Right, so that's about the socks. And that is it as for current projects. I'm now really eager to finish the socks, at least to proceed with the first one, do the heel and so on. And during TV knitting or crocheting, I might go on with the blanket, because this needs to be done. Probably this is gonna be all for this podcast episode, because I've spoken a lot about the shawl in the first part. I guess I might cut some parts of it, and today I feel that I'm talking way too much and way too long, but personally the longer the better. I love watching such videos while knitting or crocheting. Let me know what you think. It's the first time I'm doing it on the channel. I'd be interested in your comments and what you think about such a vlog format. So, see you in the next video. I hope you liked it, and if you want to support me, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. You could hit the bell icon if you want to get notified about my videos. I hope I don't make such silly mistakes as I did with the shawl video, and you get notified on time. See you in the next video, and bye!